Hi friends, welcome to Auto DevOps. If you clicked here, probably you're interested in knowing more about the future of infrastructure as code and what is going to be the role of artificial intelligence in our industry. So I asked this question on Reddit, and the responses I received were kind of surprising because most people believe that IaC is probably going to play a role in the infrastructure as code, but they also believe that it's not something that is going to happen soon because it's a problem hard to solve. I tend to disagree because, in my opinion, it's not that hard in terms of problems and the technology is already there. But before we start with this, let's simply go in the past and try to predict the future based on what happened in our industry in the past few decades. So when the digital era started, in order to do few simple instructions with our machines, we needed to understand quite a bit of electronics. And then after a while, we started to have some machine languages like, assembly, for example. And then we moved from the need for understanding electronics was less and less until we started just hiring people that were skilled in writing machine language code. So they had to understand the machine, but they didn't have to understand the electronics. And then with the time, we introduced more programming languages that gradually abstracted away the need for understanding the machine. So today you can be a developer without knowing what a malloc does, right? So even these modern programming languages and the frameworks are reducing the complexity and making the gap between the human and the machine smaller and smaller, because when we express something in a programming language, in some cases we can almost read as plain English. So this is just to say that we are not that far, because now obviously this video is not about ChatGPT, but that's why we are talking about this, right? So ChatGPT has been a disruptive technology and if you look at the rate of diffusion in the industry, in the world, is crazy. Nothing had such traction in such small time, such little time. So, and what you do, you have an interface where you talk and you get some answers, right? So now I totally agree, the answers, especially when you ask for coding and other things, are far from perfect. So most of them, they don't work and they are just made up. But this is to say that we have the technologies, and we also need to consider that ChatGPT is general. It's not for a specific domain. And this is why I think that as soon we start creating products that target specific domains like infrastructure as code, not even software engineering, but going narrow to a specific field of software engineering, which can be infrastructure as code, I think we're going to provide way more data that is specific to that domain to an algorithm that will learn based on what we do on a daily basis. So if you think there are already tools that are capturing this data, right? So if you think about the GitHub Copilot, it's kind of an assistant that is pairing with us, and every single time we correct something, it's a way to learn. So these tools are already learning from us, and are also learning from the millions of lines of code that are on open source repos. So I think it's just a matter of time, and by doing this, by training these machines, we're going to gradually our role will move from being hands-on to being more good at asking questions to an AI, and then at one point the AI will probably get rid of us. So my question now is going to be, will this make us lose our skills? I don't know the answer to these questions. If you think you know the answer, or if you have an opinion, just drop a comment down below. And I'm pretty sure that AI is here to stay and is going to play an important role in our daily life as software engineers. And specifically for infrastructure as code, I think that the tasks that we are currently doing are very well documented in terms of APIs, and the building blocks of an infrastructure are well known. So it's not very hard from a machine learning algorithm to put together all these pieces and wire the different components. So once we can formulate the questions in the right way, once we have an AI that is trained to operate on this specific domain, I think we're definitely going to write less infrastructure as code and probably more plain English instructions to an AI. I don't know what you think. Let me know down in the comments, and see you in the next video. Bye bye.